Good day, AS students. This is exercise 10D, number 9, and they give us these two discs which are touching, one with a radius of 4 and the other with a radius of 9, and they ask us to go and find firstly the angle. So let's just put in these radii here. You can see that if I put radii there, I can also then say straight away that I have 90-degree angles between the tangents and the radii. So we're going to use that, and I'm also going to connect the two centers of the circle. Now what we're going to do from there is we're going to just draw a parallel line to the tangent and another parallel line to the other tangent, and you'll see why we do this in a moment. Okay, so what I've got now, I'm just going to mark the values. We know that that radius is 4. We know that this one over there is 4 on the opposite side, because that's now a rectangle because of the 90-degree lines. And we know that the big radius there is 9. Okay, that also means that we then know that the extra bit of that line is 5. And we know that this line is 13 because it's 9 and 4 together. It's both the radii of the big and the small circle. Right, so that means that I can take this big triangle, and I'm going to now do this over here, and just this bottom triangle is just the other triangle over here. Let me just draw it for you. That's this triangle just flipped over, and we've got the hypotenuse, which is 13, and the side, which is 5, and then also the other side now, which is 12, if that's a Pythagorean triangle, which it is. Okay, so all of this information that I can draw from these things are going to help me now find the angle. So I'm going to need this angle over here if I want to find this sector length, or this arc length, should I say. And that means that what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find firstly this angle over here, which is the same as this angle here. Now that angle will be the inverse sine of 5 over 13. Okay, so let's just go and find that quickly. And we get the inverse sine of 5 over 13 is 0.394. Okay, so this angle is 0.394, or 395 if you want to round off. Okay, now that means that this angle over here is the same, and so there are two of those angles at 0.394, so I'm going to multiply those by 2, and then these two angles here are both 90 degrees, so we're going to add two lots of 90, which is 180, which is basically pi radians. So all we need to do is add pi. Right, so that gives us 3.93, and since the whole circle around is 2 pi, I'm going to say 2 pi minus that. Okay, so 2 times pi minus the 3.9, and that gives me 2.35 for this angle here. Okay, 2.35. That means I can also go and find this arc length. Since the arc length is simply r times theta, we're just going to take that angle and multiply it by 4, and we get an answer of 9.4. Okay, or 9.41 if you want, centimeters for this arc length. Right, I'm going to do a similar thing on the other side, but I don't really have to even go and work out too much else, because these angles here, this one and that one, again, which make up your full circle of 2 pi, are actually the same size, because you can see we've got the same types of angles here. They're just the opposite of the ones we had for the small circle. So we now need this side angle if we want to go and work out this arc length, and that one will just be that 3.9 that we had before. So we're going to use that, and we're going to times that by 9. And that will give us the arc length, and that's 35.38 or 4. Okay. And we know that these two sides are both 12, so now we can add up to get all the sides around there. So we're just going to add 24, and then we're going to add the 9.41, and we end up getting 68.8, which happens to be the length of the belt around. So I hope you saw all of that. That answers actually all 4 the questions. Go and work through this question and then see if you can finish up the rest of that chapter now. You should be able to do most of those exercises. If there's any questions later, we can still get some help to you if you need, but try and finish that chapter up. I'm going to teach the next chapter very soon online for you guys. Have a good day.